Welcome to the Great Basin Fire Potential Briefing for Saturday, August 13th. This is Gina McGuire. Over the next few days, we'll continue to see warm conditions across the Great Basin, with temperatures averaging 5 to 8 degrees above normal, with relatively dry conditions today. However, we will see winds pick up on Sunday over western Nevada into parts of Idaho and Wyoming. However, these winds will likely be in the 25 to 30 mile per hour range. However, still dry conditions exist. The main focus will be on the return of lightning as low pressure moves through the Great Basin, initially on Sunday over the central Idaho mountains, and this lightning and shower activity may spread further south and east as we go through next week. Looking at the last 24 hours, we've only had some isolated lightning over the far southern portion of the geographic area, and most of that lightning was further south into Arizona, with only light amounts of rainfall reported. Overall, the last 24 hours, we've seen light IA across the Great Basin, with most fires reported, as seen by the red circles, across parts of Utah into Idaho, and one new fire across Nevada. If we look at the last 7 to 30 days for observed precipitation, you can see very dry conditions still continue over western Nevada into southwest Idaho, both over the last week and over the last month, with no precipitation reported. Further south and east, again, the main focus for precipitation has been over the eastern and southern half of Utah into southern Nevada, where much of this precipitation fell over 1 to 2 weeks ago. How this affects our fuel conditions, you can see obviously with the moisture that has continued at times over southern Utah into southern Nevada, ERCs still remain below the 50th percentile in most areas, but have been increasing recently with the drier conditions. Further north, our ERCs did come down a bit from conditions we saw a week ago, however still remain above the 80th to 90th percentile in most areas, and still over western and northwest Nevada, where this dry weather has persisted for over 2 months, we're still seeing ERCs above the 97th percentile. Looking at the water vapor satellite loop from this morning, you can see high pressure in place over the Great Basin, which will keep our temperatures above normal with generally dry conditions today. However, as you can see, the deeper monsoon moisture has been suppressed much further south and east. We do have a weak upper-level disturbance that's moving from southern Idaho into northern Utah this morning, and this may generate some isolated showers and thunderstorms, mainly over western Wyoming into the eastern half of Utah today, and these may have some light amounts of rainfall. Otherwise, our focus will again turn to the return of thunderstorms to the central Idaho mountains as an area of low pressure moves in off the west coast as we go into Sunday, along with some increasing breezy winds. Looking at our weather pattern by this afternoon, again, high pressure is still in place across the Great Basin with general northwest flow and dry conditions. However, a weak upper-level disturbance again may provide the focus for some isolated showers and thunderstorms over eastern Utah into western Wyoming. Looking at our significant fire potential map on the right, generally low fire potential is expected over southern and eastern Utah into southern Nevada, again in the areas that have seen the most recent moisture. Further north and west, generally low to moderate fire potential will continue as dry fuels are in place. Today, temperatures will again remain 5 to 8 degrees above normal, with most areas across Utah, Nevada, into southern Idaho reaching the mid to upper 90s and near 110 over parts of southern Nevada. Also, dry conditions with low relative humidity in the single digits to low teens area-wide. As we move into Sunday, you can see this weak area of low pressure move into northern California. Out ahead of this area of low pressure, we'll see a slight increase in winds over western and northern Nevada on Sunday, with gusts generally 25 to 30 miles per hour and low relative humidity. However, also we'll see moisture increase for mixed wet and dry thunderstorms over the central Idaho mountains, and we have issued high risk for those lightning strikes. Right now, it looks like coverage will still remain isolated, but again, fuels are still critical up there, and these thunderstorms will be on the drier side. Otherwise, low to moderate fire potential is expected. On Sunday, this image shows the weather picture for where we're expecting those thunderstorms. We may see a few isolated showers or thunderstorms into northern Nevada as well on Sunday, but right now it looks like instability is still rather weak and any activity would be very isolated with a better chance up into Idaho. Again, the wind gusts shown here, showing that increase in winds along the Sierra front into parts of northern and central Nevada. As we move into Monday, this area of low pressure moves east across northern Nevada into northern Utah, and we will see that moisture spread further eastward. The main question is how much lightning we'll actually see into northeast Nevada, northern Utah, and Wyoming, or if we'll just see more showers and cloud cover during the morning hours. We will continue to monitor this for any increase in fire potential. However, right now it looks like we'll remain with that low to moderate fire potential area-wide. This image on the left shows the areas of depicted showers or thunderstorms, again mainly Wyoming, northern Utah into northern Nevada. Also, we'll see gusty winds spread a little bit further east on Monday, mainly over central and eastern Nevada into western Utah, where we could see gusts above 30 miles per hour at times. However, right now, fuels in these areas haven't been as critical as areas further north. We look at the overall amount of precipitation expected over the next 3 days, and you can see very little across the Great Basin, with only parts of far northeast Utah into western Wyoming seeing the chances for any accumulating rainfall. As we move towards the middle of next week, by Tuesday, we'll see a little bit more moisture start to move north across mainly Utah into the eastern side of the Great Basin, with drier conditions still in place over much of western and southwest Nevada. So therefore, we will likely see showers and thunderstorms increase over the eastern half of the region. This trend will likely continue on Wednesday. Therefore, we're starting to see a little bit more green in our PSAs as far as fire potential over the southern half of Utah into the Arizona Strip to account for this increasing moisture. As we move into Thursday, we'll still likely see moisture in place across Utah, and again, seeing those PSAs moisten up a little bit in the north. The main thing we'll be watching later in the week will be an area of low pressure dropping south into Idaho, which will likely push a cold front through the northern half of the Great Basin, shifting winds to the north and also increasing speeds quite a bit. So we'll be watching this feature as we get towards the end of next week. Looking at overall forecast amount of precipitation for the next 7 days, and again, much of this is in that Tuesday through Friday time period, you can see still expecting some wetting rains with those thunderstorms over mainly the eastern half of the Great Basin, with much of western, northwest Nevada into southwest Idaho remaining dry. Looking a little bit further ahead into the end of August, we're expecting generally dry conditions across the Great Basin with below normal temperatures, which may be an indication of those cold fronts moving down from the north, bringing not only gusty winds, but also much cooler weather. That concludes our briefing for today. If you have any questions, feel free to contact us. Thank you for listening.